Does it feel like you're doing some strategic thinking, that you are thinking and refining and planning? And it's definitely what you're guided to do this Monday, which is Moonday, which is meant to be the energy of introspection and reflection. It's been mirrored in the Mirror Guardian card, which has come out to have to the side here. I'm just going to get the cards that I had pulled out for today that had come out. I'm also guided to speak on the upcoming new moon in Scorpio, 3i Atlas, North Node moving into Aquarius, and various other things. So stick with me if that's resonating and interests you. So the Mirror Guardian is to take time to reflect, to take stock, and to zoom out. The Gene Key is this week is 14, and it's also about abundance and prosperity and coming back to 0 point and knowing that you already are and have everything. You're both nothing and everything at the same time. And when you can empty out everything that is not you and ruminating thoughts and things like that, that you can come back to a state of neutrality and 0 point frequency within you, in which all is accessible and available to you and all is possible and all can flow, since you're no longer blocking yourself somehow by stagnant energies, following on from the previous video, and you're accessing all is one in oneness, yet you can access the version of you that you prefer in that knowing, in your humanity, in the humbleness, the humility of knowing that all is one and all is connected. Yet you get to refine your self-concept and how you're feeling within you and how you're showing up when you're asked to commit to your mind, body, soul practices and to breathwork. Breathwork being the portal and the gateway to feeling that abundance and prosperity within you. To breathe deep into your belly. I'm inviting you to do that now and to expand the belly space in feeling like you almost look pregnant, like you've got a balloon there, and it's really holding that energy in, and you're envisioning that you're not only breathing in air into the lungs, but breathing life force energy into your being. You're flooding your being and you're holding, even as you breathe in and extend that breath and really hold it in your sacral center, that you feel energy come right down through your whole being as you're inviting that into you and inviting in a state of wholeness and fullness in your body, reclaiming a state of fullness and wholeness and how abundant you are in your breath, in your life, and being present with that and mindfulness and awareness that you are already whole and complete and perfect in the now. And release and to breathe out and exhale for as long as you can, fully deflating the stomach. And it's wonderful to do this laying down on your back with your spine as straight as possible, and just having your hands on your stomach area, or even one over your heart and one over your stomach, and breathing into the chest in expansion and holding that energy coming up, this stomach rising, holding it as long as you can, and then letting it fall and releasing your hand coming back down for as long as you can, to exhale as long as you can, to truly release that, and to even hold on the exhale for as long as you comfortably can, not straining yourself. And as your body intuitively knows, following your own wisdom and guidance safely in following your own body, that you breathe in again fully when your body is calling for that naturally. So you don't necessarily need to follow certain seconds, but you're following intuitively what your body is calling for and needing. And you may extend on that as you practice, as is comfortable, checking in with and being aware of your own bodily need and function and flow as you get into that practice, and do it in the morning when you wake up and before you go to sleep, and to really relax the nervous system. And I'm getting a lot of information of how we're moving into more of a time of effortless ease. And even though there may be in the world events, there may seem to be more chaos and more seismic activity, volcanic activity, a lot of fire moving into next year. We're moving into the year of the fire horse. I'm seeing lots of signs of that today. The spirit of the horse, pictures, images of this horses everywhere, like coming on my radar, and that energy being of beauty, of resilience, also elegance. So that's strategic thinking that's coming up in the tower of Seven of Swords energy, which is wanting independence, yet you're not wanting to be shrewd or be deceitful or be dishonest with yourself or with others and how you're moving forward. It's asking you to come into your values and your alignment and how you truly want to move from your heart, that you feel that you're truly being loving in energy. And this really feels this energy of the horse, the fire horse. Like horses have such a strong electromagnetic field from the heart, like way beyond humans, like much stronger. They're like really pure in spirit in the heart, and can be fierce and can gallop and take, that they're startled if they feel that they're afraid, or that some energy that they don't prefer has come into their vicinity. They will make it known. They will stomp. They will, rebel. They're quite rebellious. Yet they're I had to, and there's this energy coming to me of how they're not meant to be tamed, but yes, when they are, it's through right processes with the right energies. And then there's a complete surrender to that, and there's a willingness to cooperate and to collaborate when there's care and tenderness and discipline and devotion and consistency. And that is giving the energy of how you're wanting to move forward to claim greater independence, and you're wanting to be more yourself, and there may be a rebelliousness in that, yet you're wanting to connect to your heart and play the long game, and to have that be the fire that's ignited in you, in how you are consistent in your discipline, in your devotion to your gratitude, your mind, body, soul practices, your breath work, taking care of your body, committing to your workout routines, your fasting, your hydration, your nourishment, and really looking after the vessel and really looking after your channel as communicating and expressing what wants to come through you in creativity. And I'm seeing a lot of healing of masculine energy in how you're more connected to the feminine energy and connected to the wisdom of the body and in your intuition and creative expression. Yet the masculine energy is truly bringing that forward and wanting that to come forward in a way that is honest and in integrity with you, and integrity with the divine, with what is wanting to come from you in creative expression through the lens of love, that it's through loving yourself, or through giving love to what you're pouring into, or nurturing it and growing it and watering it like you're tending to a garden, that it's not a quick fix, it's not a shortcut, it's not I've taken action, so where's my result? Yet consistent day by day devotion and commitment over time, that you truly start to see the results coming. And that is through your own devotion in love for yourself, and devotion in love for what you are showing up for, and how you're committing to that, and how you're committing to working with unseen forces and being the magician, and giving love to that, and giving love to your heightened psychic senses and intuitive abilities and your spiritual path, and fully owning it and claiming that in your being, in your body. And what was coming to me this morning was the need to own and to walk as the version of you who is owning and claiming that version of you in embodiment in your being. How does that person walk down the street? How do they hold themselves up? How do they hold themselves in posture? How do they own their own power? How do they own their own gifts and their own abilities? How do they move and show up as if they already know who they are as the future version of themselves in a refined self-concept, so that you're standing tall and you're embodying and holding the energy of the stallion, almost of that really strong, emboldened horse who knows who they are, who knows their energy, and is fierce and wild and free and loving. And I'm just seeing horses running along a beach, wild and carefree, full of power, and also elegance, grace, and beauty. That's quite beautiful as an image. And there's this effortless ease and just galloping ahead, and how it may have felt that 2025 and recent years have been such a slowing down, such a shedding, such a releasing, maybe things not moving forward, because you have been guided by the universe to trust in yourself more, and to trust in your vision, and trust in what you're nurturing and devoting yourself to consistently over time, and that things are going to pick up momentum. Yet you will feel a greater trust and feel the universe is trusting you with what you have been given and what gifts have been activated within you, since you have been consistent in that commitment and devotion. And that was a requirement first, to fully allow you to roam free with it. So you know that you are devoted to what you're devoting yourself to with right reason and in integrity, that it feels aligned, and that things are going to go forward in faster momentum coming into next year, yet you're going to feel more grounded in that inner leadership from within. Let me know if that's resonating. It feels like a beautiful energy, and you can be in the energy of celebration, Six of Wands, where you're acting as if that you already are the version of you who is the winner, who is successful. You're simply aligning with that future version of you. What was coming to me today was, if you are marketing or you're offering value or you're addressing a certain client and you're wondering, so who am I now and who's my target audience now? If it's shifting or pivoting somewhat, and you're wanting to refine your message, or you're wanting to refine who you're showing up in service for, that you can consider a previous version of you and what value or wisdom or insights or knowledge that version of you required or needed, or how it would have supported a previous version of you. And likewise, then at the same time, not necessarily the current you, how current you is showing up for that version of you, but how future you, embodied in a future self-concept, is showing up for, creating a bridge to meet that former version of you and take them further along from where you currently are into the future. Is that resonating with you? Because it sounds like a lovely message and a lovely way to make sense of your spiritual path and journey, and how you may show up and add value and service to another. And it can be truly loving in a way that if you're viewing how you could be healing a former version of yourself, and there are other people who need that wisdom or insights or clarity and value that you can offer through looking at that through a lens of love, since it is loving and it's self-healing, it's alchemizing, and it's helping you gain greater clarity on how you can show up and what wisdom and insights you have to offer that other people out there absolutely do need. You're asked to stay in your serenity, to be in serenity amidst any changes, any turbulence, any chaos. That sometimes what they say is your comfort zone can kill you, but the comfort zone may be following chaos, or following being overly productive, or following having a hectic lifestyle. That may be familiar to you, and taking you out of your comfort zone could be surrender to stillness. It could be surrender to breathwork. It could be surrender to devotional meditation every day when you may have resistance to that. That may take you out of your comfort zone, yet can ignite inspiration, and a spark within you can give you greater emboldened, empowered, embodied energy within you, which you can show up in better action, doing less in that more alchemized, healed, masculine energy within you that feels more devotional, that feels more on purpose and on track, that's in alignment with what you're channeling or what you're creating. So therefore it does feel more elegant and more potent and it's more driven, rather than being scattered or being productive for productivity's sake, which can have an undercurrent of showing up out of fear or out of wanting to entertain something, and not from a state of calmness, of where you're truly owning that it's your desire and that you're wanting to do that from a state of overflow. And from that place, you're in a state of celebration because you're living in the end. So serenity bestows inner peace, tranquility, and calmness of mind. And I've mentioned this with clients, how the mudra of holding your two fingers and thumb together can activate alpha brainwave states in the mind. So if you're feeling that you're a bit scattered, or you're overthinking, or there's like a race in your mind, you can really calm down and quieten your mind by doing that in that mudra, in activating that brainwave state. Even holding your hand behind your back, or you're in your presentation, or just from where you are, where you're sitting, and just wanting to calm down your mind, you can activate alpha brainwave states. And more, you can listen to alpha brainwave music and theta and delta and so on to truly reprogram the mind and reprogram and rewire the body to feel even more relaxed. Since if you make Moonday more reflective and more introspective and work on your nervous system regulation in the morning, and you make that morning time, rather than being overly productive and jumping into things and showing up and being visible, to be a reclamation of embodiment practices, of somatic practices, of being clear in your energy, and then driving forward from there, you can obtain more powerful results and objectives that are in alignment with the truth of who you are, and are truly taking you forward on the trajectory that you prefer, rather than feeling scattered in your energy. Let me know if that resonates. So when you are serene, you are your own person, for nothing and no one can bother, upset, or influence you. And this is being on the 0 point frequency. You're like a calm, clear lake, beautiful and peaceful to be with. Your quiet radiance brings hope and support to those who come within your aura. You attract respect and love for others because all are calmed by you, since you are transmitting that energy and frequency. As you become deeply serene and still, you connect to the higher powers of the universe for divine guidance, and your path in life becomes smooth and flowing in effortless ease. Ask your angel to hold you in serenity, and the affirmation says, I'm serene and still. And this can be you getting out of your comfort zone and surrendering into that, when your body may have a resistance to it and the egoic mind may want to fight that. And getting a message of how you may have on your healing journey feel that you've come up against so much betrayal trauma, like being betrayed by the people that were closest to you and you had the perception were supposed to love you the most, can be the worst wounding to experience. And spiritual warfare, psychological abuse, all of these kind of emotional abuse, these kind of things, if you feel that that resonates with you, going through all of those things can make it more challenging for you to let down your guard and to let love in again. And you're invited to do that in a new, next level, alchemized, healed version of you, who is rooted in the energy of calm and rooted in the energy of knowing who you are, that you have better discernment and you can move forward in greater celebration, knowing that your healing work means that new connections that are coming in are more in a similar wavelength to you, and you cannot or will not be manipulated in the same kind of fashion again, because you will always receive the signals in your body. Your intuitive psychic senses will always know. Telepathy is on the increase, and that we will be able to read and understand things through greater truth and transparency. And you will know more instantly what aligns for you and what does not. And through your increased self-love, we'll be making pivots to return back to your inner serenity, calm and peace and joy and happiness in moving forward. And if you feel that this is really resonating with you, you've been doing all of that work and you've really rooted it in, I really celebrate you and really salute you for doing that. It's the work of the wounded warrior, the brave warrior, and being here to shine your light even more and share your gifts and talents. It can feel as if it's a lonely path, yet you're coming out of that into celebration, in connecting more with like-minded souls and individuals. And that is the energy of the Six of Wands, that you are victorious. You're aligning with that. You're aligning with letting more love in. You're aligning with birthing more love from you. You're aligning with being more the frequency of love and creating and pouring into your passion projects with love and letting more love come from you that feels authentic, true and unconditional, since you have mastered and embodied unconditional love within you for yourself first and foremost. And that means that everything simply has to be on the trajectory of greater celebration. And regardless of what seems to be happening in your 3D reality, it's only going to get better from here. And I'm hearing M people, the only way is up, that you're on that frequency elevator no matter what is happening out there in your reality. And since you can ground and anchor back into zero frequency, 0 point neutrality, whenever anything is going on, and access tapping, and you have all of these resources and things you can do to regulate your nervous system. This has been a blessing and a gift on your journey in taking you forward into better and better as you continue to ascend. There's celebratory times coming in, that there may be a lot of changes in the years coming up ahead, yet you have already won because you already understand. And I'm getting the energy of Pam Gregory again in how love is the checkmate, because you know how to make that move because you've already made it within you, and that makes you a winner. The celebration, it's time for you to look for the joy, the delight and wonder of every day, and delight and rejoice in it. When we celebrate the passing events and transitions of life, it's our way of giving thanks, and the angels delight with us. Whenever possible, celebrate with others, for then great energy is raised, which attracts many angels drawn by the laughter, lightness to add to their blessings. It bonds you happily with others. Remember to celebrate and honor all things large or small in your life. Find something to celebrate now. And when you've been through the worst, you have gratitude for the simplest of things, and that really truly does keep you rooted in love, wonder, and awe and appreciation for the magic of the now. That makes you an absolute winner moment to moment, and something beautiful to celebrate. So Mirror Guardian is asking you to reflect on who you are now, who you want to be now. And I'm guided to read the message from that. Thank you for being here, for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Drop your comment if this has resonated for you somehow. If you really feel you're going into a new portal, a new gateway, I'm getting is coming up. I have to go back to the new moon in Scorpio, so I'm going to address that now in a moment. Yet there's a new gateway, a new portal opening up at the Winter Solstice, 21st of December. And I felt this inspiration to create an offering today on that, in having a workshop and going into transmissions. There's a strong energy coming through of that being a very key portal in which a lot is going to change in moving forward. So more on that is coming. Yeah, let me know if you've been feeling that, if you've had any synchronicities come up for you in that kind of energy. The new moon in Scorpio is first. And what I was hearing on this is you have to allow yourself, you have to be willing to feel something that you have potentially been avoiding wanting to look at or feel. So something that may have been a wounding, may have been painful for you, a past hurt, or something that is being asked to be witnessed and observed and felt, because you need to feel it to release it. So you may feel some emotion coming up, some intensity, and in fully surrendering to the pain of something, to allowing yourself to feel the pain of something, so that you can release that in your heart, that you can alchemize it, you can transmute, you can transform it, you can do violet flame transmutation, calling in golden night. I have rituals on this in my book, which you're welcome to get a copy of, so that you can truly release and let go, call in forgiveness, alchemize, and so on. Yet this new moon in Scorpio is really asking you to be tender and soft with yourself, through holding yourself in something that may have felt like an intense wounding for you, because it will elevate you naturally in frequency through bearing witness and holding space for the depth of that emotion within you, not to bypass it, but to be with it, to sit with it, to feel it, to release, to cry, to have a cleansing ritual, to have a shower where you visualize that being cleansed and washed from you, that you allow yourself to feel the bubbling up of anger, sacral rage, whatever it may be, and you allow yourself the opportunity to witness things from another perspective, and that you're truly elevating in consciousness and expanding in the consciousness of love through choosing that and through allowing that and releasing and letting go and shedding that from you. It's such a shedding energy in this new moon in Scorpio. So let me know if that resonates. Back to the Mirror Guardian on reflecting on what that may even be for you, on what it means for you, what meaning you're attaching to it, how you may let it go, how you're holding and claiming and calling in the new version of you, how you're accessing even happier version of you, how you're being in more of a celebratory mode, and how you're moving forward as a new version of you, having really, really, really let go and transform something that you may not really have been aware of still having been holding on to, if you're honest with yourself. So that's bringing me back to the Seven of Swords, of not to be dishonest with yourself, but being honest with yourself about how you truly feel about something, so that you have clarity in releasing that and moving forward. How it says, angels accept you just the way you are, even when you're going through a challenging time. They still hold you in the highest esteem. The mirror guardian, a female angel looking into the mirror of life, invites you to witness your spiritual strength and beauty, to see yourself as the angels do. The mirror represents the fact that your core beliefs and ideas are in fact what is reflected back to you by your world. Your life is one big mirror of how you feel within, and the mirror guardian helps you recognize that. When this card appears, you are being invited to take some time to see where you are right now, and also how you are moving forward, that you're focused on the moving forward, you're focused on moving into your joy, you're focused on moving on your vision, you're focused on bringing about more of the reality that you prefer. You're a beautiful being who has surmounted so many challenges and expanded in so many ways. Your angels are now guiding you to take inventory of your life, to take some time to note all of your recent experiences, the challenges you have surmounted, the strengths you have developed, and the lessons you have learned. Your angels want you to reflect on your strengths, in particular, those aspects of yourself that you feel have not been acknowledged by others. Offer yourself approval where it's due, and know that when you give yourself credit, others will be able to do that as well. So this is the invitation to celebrate how you have surrendered to unseen forces, how you have unlocked in spiritual gifts and wisdom and medicine and alchemy, how you're showing up and sharing your voice and your gifts and talents with others for that ripple effect and transformation through you, which is beautiful to do. And it's time to celebrate how far you have come as you take stock of where you were going from here. Let me know if that has resonated for you. In my book, finally, I was guided to speak on the North Node in Aquarius and how we're moving into that into next year. The North Node is moving into Aquarius, and that is about owning your quirks, all your weirdness, all the things that make you uniquely you as a soul, while also aligning with humanitarian work and your vision. So how you can share your weirdest soul shine gifts, authenticity and truth and transparency, being most you, being vulnerable, being authentic, in alignment with the vision to how that serves something beyond you for the greater good and what that may mean. And it may be that you are taking stock of how you're aligning with that, how you're claiming being more you in a way that is a service to society. Since you're wanting to have the village, but you also have to show up as the villager. If you want the village, you have to be the villager. And how that is going to look for you, how you are committing to being loyal to or devoted to something, how you're showing up for community, how you're going to commit to taking care of you so that you can show up for something that is beyond you, and how you're aligning with that. So who are you showing up for? What are you showing up for? And what's your why? What's your North Star? And coming back to that. And it can be precious to take out the time, especially on a Moonday, to reflect on that and how you're refining on that. And this is constantly a work in progress. You may find that you're refining your self-concept in another 2 months, 6 months, in a year, and constantly pivoting to be an even greater version of you, letting even more of your greatness out, learning even more about yourself, sharing even more of your channeled gifts and insights, whatever it may be, sharing more of your expressions, sharing more of your creativity, your art, and how you can always go better. You can always refine. You can chisel away, as Brad Yates would say, you're chiseling away at the marble to reveal that statue of David within, that you're chiseling away to constantly reveal your greatness. So taking the time to consider what that means for you and how that would be and how you would express it is a beautiful thing to do. Also asked to speak on healing your relationship with money, if you are feeling that, because I've had this with clients recently who shared with me that they had prioritized money first, that they were very rooted in the material world. And this is where the masculine energy is coming back up for me again. Sorry if this seems to be a bit scattered, but that drive towards, how can I, as a person in a session had said recently, I always think about how can I make money from this? So it's aligning with materialistic views. It may be something that you're contributing to society, but considering how you can monetize on something. And yet those energies, the people who were connecting with me, were feeling the desire to surrender into the divine feminine, which is more intuitive and receiving and receptive and getting creative from within you as the vessel, and bringing that forth in form in the masculine energy and harmonizing that through that communion and connection with the God force, the God goddess within. And there was the want, the desire, the need to surrender into a trust that through following your aliveness and being the vessel and being the instrument for the divine, that money would simply follow as a byproduct of you being most authentically you. And there's a need to trust in that more, in owning your weirdness, in owning your soul gifts, in owning your authenticity, and being more of who you really are, allowing money to be drawn to you through that aliveness and vibrancy and enthusiasm and joy, through simply being yourself and feeling that you were paid to exist and that money loves you. And the more you are you, the more you are paid. And the more you are true to yourself, the more money loves to meet you. And the more you can circulate and generate for others. And they need to own that and to shift that dynamic and relationship and perception with money and feeling that money loves you. And the more you're you, the more you receive. The more you have fun, the more money loves to flow in. And creating and transforming that relationship, that it's not a strategic, I'm going to do this in order to get that, but to be the magician and trust in unseen forces and be in a celebratory vibe and following your joy and your aliveness and passion and being more you, and trusting that the more I follow this, I'm a magnet for money and money just flows to me with ease, since I'm no longer betraying, abandoning, sabotaging, procrastinating on being my most authentic self. So from the book, it's release negative associations with money, affirm positive money beliefs, practice financial gratitude for everything that you receive, everything, even seeing money in your environment. Like, oh, it's a joy to even see that being circulated, knowing it's there in abundance. And giving and paying for things. And whenever you receive money in whatever quantity, whether it's large or small, and you see a penny on the ground, that you even get excited and celebrate that and say, wow, more money is coming into my reality, or I'm seeing even more, and I'm excited about that. And I love seeing money, and money loves coming into my reality, and to create that joyous, harmonious, healthy attachment and relationship with it, that you're neutralizing things, or you're actually injecting and infusing the energy of gratitude and love as a frequency in that dynamic, which makes it more fruitful and more rewarding and more loving and more harmonious, rather than being in constriction or doubt or hesitating or worry or questioning or uncertainty, and all of these kind of lower vibrational experiences that can perpetuate negative loops. And since what you perceive to be true in your mind, what you're holding in your energy as your frequency, is what you're creating more of in your reality. So if you're more harmonious within and more in your serene, inner calm, still center of 0 point of neutrality, of gratitude, of everything always works out for me, the more you see that created and reflected back to you. You can visualize financial abundance. You can write down acting as if and celebrating already having what you require and desire, what you would be doing, what you would be thinking, what thoughts you would be entertaining. You would be aligning more with the future version of you. You wouldn't be entertaining the past. You wouldn't be entertaining your current dynamics or current circumstances. You would be visualizing, oh, I could do this, and I could go there, and I could make this prayer, I could give back to this person, I could pay that off, I'm so happy to do that. You'd be entertaining the thoughts of the person who already has it. And that's what you're invited to do, to trust that abundance flows when there's an openness to both give and receive. Many block their abundance because they're afraid to give, thinking that leads to depleting their resources, or they're afraid to receive because they feel unworthy or undeserving. True abundance requires a balance of both openly giving and receiving. When you give freely from a place of love and trust, you signal to the universe that you believe in the infinite flow of resources. And I was seeing lots of 88888 everywhere. I'm in car place, registration, 88, infinity, abundance to you. When you receive with openness, gratitude, and joy, you open up to even greater flow of abundance, believing in and embodying worthiness through prosperity in your breath. Since it's natural, it's the most natural thing. You are always receiving when you're breathing. To make it more natural that you receive, to give gratitude for each time you breathe in, just taking your mindful awareness to that, and to feel it fill you up and feel that sense of wholeness. You cannot be in lack, and you see the illusion of it. You're already whole and complete through the power of your breath, and that's what you're invited to do, to reclaim and anchor in that sense of abundance and prosperity as you move forward, feeling serene and calm, instant celebration and joy. Understand the law of giving and receiving, and it may be, if you clicked on this video, that you understand generosity, you understand giving, you understand contribution. It may be an issue of receiving. And receiving can be mastered through giving more to yourself, and how you may even create space for some selfishness in how you prioritize you in your mind, body, soul connection. You give over to breathwork practices. You pamper yourself. You spoil yourself. You buy yourself flowers. you decorate something or beautify something in your space, which is signaling to the universe, I'm deserving of good things. I'm deserving of beauty. I'm deserving of my own care. I'm deserving of receiving love because I'm giving it to myself. And therefore the universe has to mirror that to you in your reality. So take a look again at what is being mirrored in your reality. What are you experiencing? And how can you refine that in moving forward in a way that creates even better from you? First and foremost, from that mind-body-soul connection and from your energetics and frequency. If you'd like to step into one-to-one mentorship with me to receive attunements to Reiki, which can truly activate that sensation, Reiki is truly the heartbeat of energy work, feeling it pulsate through your being, feeling a greater sense of awareness of your psychic gifts and abilities, feeling even more aligned with your dharma, as people say to me when they come to me for sessions and courses, that they feel that it's not just an insight, they feel aligned with the longer term view and vision. They feel connected more to a sense of dharma, and that's not a quick fix. That is the long game. And when you access or get a snippet of how you experience it or sense it in your being, it's truly beautiful and powerful and can really connect you with a sense of your why and your North Star that you can keep aligning with on any of the days that you may feel stuck, lost, confused, worried, doubting, hesitating, and so on. You can keep aligning with that and keep moving forward, knowing that you can zoom out, rest, reflect, and know you're receiving in those states, since you've already aligned with where you're going and you know it's already there for you. And this excites me, it gives me happy feet, it gives me joy when the insights come in and people say, oh my God, I've been reflecting on that the last 2 months and you've just given me a sign of a major go ahead. It lights me up. What lights you up? Please feel free to drop your comments and let me know how you're aligning even more with your vision and mission and purpose, because I love connecting with people and talking about that. Thank you again for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Sending you so much love. Take good care of you and see you in the next one.